I have to tell myself, like, you're not going to kill yourself. You're not going to kill yourself. You're not going to kill yourself.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Jesus Christ, Tyler. We're what? We're like 10 years different,
exactly,
10 years older, 10 years apart. But yeah, like and that was another thing too, is like you're the exact age I was when I wrote this, you know? We've gotten to talk a few times in the past couple of months since we connected on this. We were just talking the other day about how I'm happy that, like, because you're like getting sober now and you're talking about how you're better equipped to deal with this stuff. And I didn't get that way till my like mid 30s, you know? Do you want to talk about your sobriety, like
Sure.
getting sober?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, like I said, growing up, I always felt out of place, and the most thing I didn't want to be was a celebrity or an actor, you know? There was just such a stigma in my eyes and in other people's eyes, but in my eyes, I think I hated them the most, you know? I don't know why. I just wanted to be a punk kid from Southern California, you know? I didn't want to be in this world that just seemed so superficial, and so I just started getting drunk and stoned and, you know, just messing around with whatever we could find as kids, you know, and just I completely became this addict sort of lifestyle.
Yeah.
And like I said, like my career didn't show for that. Like I would show up and get work done every single time. I would go to all these events and promote the show and was always on top of everything. But when I came home, all I did was smoke weed every day, all day. And it really started affecting my happiness because I couldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
You know, I was either just numbing myself and then I couldn't feel the what I was numbing, and then I couldn't feel happy because I was just like riding on this fucking numb wave. And then getting drunk. I remember the first time I got really drunk with my friends, I was the first kid that threw up, but I was just like, this is no big deal. I'm just drinking a little bit too much right now.
That's part of it. Yeah, like there is that thought too, especially when you're young. It ends with throwing up, or sometimes it doesn't end. You puke and rally, and then you come back, but throwing up is part of it, which is like crazy. I didn't start drinking until I turned 21. And then it was like my mid-20s when I just said fuck it and like got completely irresponsible about drinking and drugs and that's also what this book is about, being super irresponsible about drinking and drugs and almost dying multiple times because of it. Did you ever find yourself in that position? Because there's like three times in this book where I talk about just like doing coke and Xanax at the same time and just drinking a ton of alcohol at the same time and popping Ambien too, like mixing pills, coke, fucking booze.
So like, my whole life I kind of had this heart murmur, and the first time I got sick was in my mom's bathroom from drinking, and she was so worried that I was gonna have like a heart attack at a really young age. And
Did she know it was from you drinking?
Oh yeah. Yeah, my older brother like gave me the booze, and he's like, don't tell mom. And as soon as she came in, I was like, it was Derek. so he's like, dude, why the hell did you tell me that? Why'd you tell her that? And so my whole life I've just kind of had that in the back of my head whenever I'm partying a little too hard, you know. And I would whenever I'm partying a little too hard, I would like have a Xanax to calm down, or like a bottle of fucking mezcal mixed to calm down.
Yeah.
And I would text like my ex, you know, and sometimes we'd be in a fight. I would text her and be like, hey, please make sure I'm alive the next morning. But for some reason it didn't stop me.
Yeah, like that's the crazy thing too. It's just the depression or whatever that led you to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's points in my book that I talk about, you know, one night where I just mixed a bunch of drugs and booze and slept for 15 hours. I had some scares, but that didn't stop me. The only thing that ever stopped me was finally getting healthier, you know, like for some reason.
Like mentally healthier?
Yeah. And like actively doing the work to get healthier and to stay healthier, because it doesn't matter how healthy you get. Like, you know, there's still times where like depression knocks me out and I'll be in bed crying, you know. I just remember this one time in the last year where I was laying in bed crying, and I have to tell myself, like, you're not going to kill yourself. You're not going to kill yourself. You're not going to kill yourself.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Jesus Christ, Tyler. The professional over here.
That's my alarm that went off that says, you've been through harder, don't do drugs.
Nice.
Sobriety, baby.
All right.
And it also says my dogs would love a walk.
Oh.
Because when I was partying too much, they would just be staring at me and be like, when are you going to sleep? Can we go on a walk? And we're like, nope, So now I'm a good daddy.
That's great, dude. That's a cool thing to have. I'm glad it happened on camera.
I did that on purpose. Not at all.
But yeah, man, like I still, I mean, not often, but I still like will get hit by depression. Like it doesn't matter how, I've never met somebody that was like, oh yeah, I never get depressed ever again. Like I beat depression, like it's gone. Like it doesn't go away. The only way you beat it that time is if you are actively working on giving yourself the tools to do it.
I walked out of the Playwright Tavern, which I would not recommend to anyone looking for Celtic pub experience, unless your idea of a Celtic pub experience is Beyonce blaring over tourist talk. But I can't complain about the $7 double of Johnny Walker. How that cost less than my pint of Smithwick's makes absolutely no sense to me. I walked out of the pub and straight into a gift shop. When you're in Times Square, it's actually more difficult to not walk into a gift shop. I still hadn't stopped thinking about my family, and still hadn't stopped thinking that I could have died last night. Man, wouldn't that just make everything so much easier? But I was too drunk to call my teenage sisters or my recovered alcoholic father just to tell them that I love them. They would suspect that I was drunk. Not that it matters to me. Well, it kind of matters to me. Like I said, as long as I fulfill my responsibilities, I think I'm doing all right. But my dad has been brainwashed by AA for over 30 years and still believes he can't have one drink, so calling him would just make him worry. My sister doesn't understand the real world yet, and because of things my brother, who also has never had a drink in his 30-plus years, has told her, she thinks I'm an alcoholic. So, while the most burning thought in my head at that moment was, I just want to tell my family that I love them, I couldn't do it. So, I looked at postcards. I thought of my niece and nephew and how I really want them to have better lives than my brother and I had. I want to send them postcards that show them how amazing this city looks. I want to spark their imaginations. I want to inspire them. I want them to believe that they can get away. I'm also drunk and probably tweaking a little bit since I doubled up my morning dose of speed. And who knows what the hell scotch and coffee does to you. So, I decided that children do not need to receive the drunken ramblings of their crazy uncle who has never been the most stable guy they've known. Sober or not. Oh shit. I'm that uncle.
The ground's opening up, I'm falling down below, and then this fall into a place that I don't think a child should know.
The ground's opening up. I'm falling down below. An endless fall into a place that I don't think a child should know.